Welcome to WDW Escape, brought to you by WDW Magazine. In this issue, we present a magical moment, EPCOT's China Pavilion, a cultural showcase, by Stephanie Schuster, which first appeared in issue 78, March 2020. EPCOT is one of my favorite places to while away the day at Walt Disney World, particularly when I'm exploring World Showcase. I love revisiting countries I've traveled to, finding pitch-perfect elements that bring back memories of past trips, or fantasizing about what global destination I'll go to next, and wondering how it will compare to its EPCOT counterpart. Recently, I returned from a vacation in the People's Republic of China, where I was able to visit Beijing, Shanghai, Hangzhou, Wuxi, and Suzhou. There, I was constantly reminded of things I had seen in EPCOT's China Pavilion, and took the opportunity to ask my guide about their meaning and cultural relevance. China is an incredibly ancient country. While in North America we talk about our national histories of hundreds of years, the Chinese have thousands of years to draw upon. From prehistory through early and imperial dynasties up to the republics of the last century, there have been amazing feats of architecture and ornamentation. Many examples of these have been well preserved, repaired, or even still in use in modern China today. One of the first things you'll notice upon entering the China Pavilion at EPCOT are the brightly colored buildings, and particularly the vibrant artistic lacquer work done on the gate of the pavilion's entrance and on the replica of the Temple of Heaven. The original is located in Beijing and was constructed in the early 1400s. This highly detailed and pigmented design work was something we saw on important and historical buildings throughout our visit in China, but most notably at the Forbidden City, the Imperial Palace, home to the Emperor and center of political and ceremonial activities for half a millennium. Guardian lions, such as those found outside the House of Good Fortune in EPCOT, are everywhere in China. From shops and restaurants to government buildings, we were never far away from seeing this architectural ornament. Look closely. You'll see one lion has a ball, the male signifying world supremacy, and the other has a cub, the female signifying the ability to nurture. Another fascinating detail is only noticeable if you take the time to look up. On the corner of the ornate roofs, you may notice a row of figurines. These are led by the phoenix, followed by a number of mythical creatures, and finally concluded with a dragon. These ornaments are meant to signify an imperial building. The more figurines in the middle, the more important the building. Look for this detail in China and in the China Pavilion at EPCOT. One thing that was immediately familiar as I visited sites in China was the use of feng shui with wide open courtyards, ornate bridges over water features, and traditional Chinese landscape garden elements that are used so effectively at EPCOT to create a serene escape from the busyness of the park. These elements are used all over China too, sometimes in the middle of the busiest cities in the world, providing much-needed breaks from the hustle and bustle of daily life. During our vacation in China, we learned a lot about products that are important to the country, both in traditional and modern contexts. A few of these stood out as items that are easy to find in EPCOT. It's hard to miss the beautiful, colorful silk textiles in China, whether the country or the World Showcase Pavilion. Not only is silk manufactured in China, but the skill of silk embroidery is cherished as an art form, and the textile itself is essential to clothing, bedding, and more. Praised for its beauty and practicality of temperature regulation, the silk industry is as important as ever in China, as it's the top worldwide producer of this luxury material. In EPCOT's gift shops, look for fans, makeup cases, purses, and traditional clothing like xiangsam, fitted dresses made from beautiful silk. Lanterns as a practical lighting source, and also a decorative accent, are also prevalent across China and showcased well in the China Pavilion. Whether made of paper or silk, these can be found adorning temples, restaurants, hotels, tea houses, and more. Check out the ceilings in the gift shops and restaurants to see lovely examples of this artistry in EPCOT. One surprise discovery we made on our vacation was coming across the national candy of China, White Rabbit. This creamy, milky taffy is so popular with children and nostalgic for adults, it has inspired lines of gift sets, lunchboxes, homewares, and accessories. I've spotted it in EPCOT before, but had no idea it was such a big deal. Now here's something really cool about White Rabbit. The original version of this candy was marketed by the ABC Candy Factory in Shanghai using a Mickey Mouse drawing on the wrapper. After the Cultural Revolution in the 1950s, the symbol was changed to today's white rabbit illustration. When I travel to foreign countries, I love to experience both iconic displays of culture that are made readily available to tourists, as well as the local culture that many visitors don't take the time to seek out. Seeing both helps me to understand the nation and its people in new ways. On the local side, I was interested to learn about the wide variety of Buddhism practiced in China. In total, Buddhists make up about 16% of the population, but there are many types of practice, just like with Christianity in the US. We noticed there were representations of Buddha from skinny to rotund, modest to ornate, infant to geriatric, less than an inch to almost 300 feet tall, and he could be made of anything. Jade, stone, ceramics, soap, stained glass, you name it. Next time you find yourself at EPCOT, see how many representations of Buddha you can spot in the gift shops. For something a bit more dramatic during our trip to China, we took in a large-scale theatrical performance, the Golden Mask Dynasty, combining dance, acrobatics, stunning costumes, and gorgeous props from scarves to live peacocks. So much of the show reminded me of the enchanting performances by the jeweled dragon acrobats who perform in the China Pavilion. They really are one of EPCOT's most impressive acts. So, how authentic is a visit to the China Pavilion? I have to say I'm truly in awe of the level of detail and accuracy that the Imagineers have included in the space available. Many core elements of traditional and modern Chinese culture, art, and architecture really bring China to life in EPCOT. I can't wait for my next visit, and hope to notice even more details that I'll recall from my time overseas. With a new Circle Vision 360 film called Wondrous China set to open soon in EPCOT, I'll have even more reason to linger a bit longer in this exquisite spot in World Showcase. You have been listening to WDW Escape, presented by WDW Magazine. If you enjoyed this magical moment, you're sure to love the all-new content in every issue of WDW Magazine. Still missing Walt Disney World? Subscribe to WDW Magazine at wdw-magazine.com. You'll be transported right back to your happy place. Use coupon code PODCAST for $10 off an annual digital edition. From all of us here at WDW Magazine, have a magical day.